evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Today we're going to be going over the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist deck profile. Very fun deck of mine. I've been playing this deck for a good portion of since the deck came out, and I decided not to play 3 or 4 axes like the last time Spirit was off the list. I'm going to play the best available cards. Now, you do sacrifice just a little bit of space, but you get to play the best of both worlds. You get to play both 3 axes and 4 axes Fire Fist inside of one deck. So let's get down to the deck profile. We're going to be starting off with 3 copies of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear. Just very obvious. You pitch a fire formation card to destroy a monster on the field. Probably the best Fire Fist monster that's level 4 in the game. Next, for the 3 copies of, we're going to be running 3 copies of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Rooster. Now, Rooster, I feel, is the best Fire Fist of all time in the deck, mainly because you get to rotate out your fire formation cards. You can turn Tenki into Tensu, you can turn Tenki into Gyoko, you can turn it into Tensins, you practically can turn it to whatever you want to, and that's essential for being able to get your important fire formation cards out to the field, and using your dead fire formation cards on the field to recycle them into better fire formation cards. Ultimately, I feel like Rooster is the best monster. Also keep in mind, when it's special summoned by the effect of a Fire Fist monster, you also gain its effects, so not only through Horse Prince, through the effects of Dragon or whatever else you can special summon it through, Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Rooster will gain effect to add a Fire Fist monster. Next is practically our Stratos to the deck. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Leopard. This is going to fuel our Spirit plays. Ultimately, it does fetch us more often than not Tenki or Tensu, sometimes even Gyoko. You play it at 3 just to maximize your consistency of opening the combo, and basically it's just a really good card, being able to search out any of your fire formation cards. 2 copies of Gorilla. Gorilla, you know what? I think a lot of people really doubt Gorilla as one of the better Fire Fist cards. And I see a lot of people run him 1. The biggest thing that I ran too is, back then, you guys have to remember, Mermails were a thing. So I used to be able to force my opponent from missing timing for their Pike effect by running over the Linda with a Gorilla. But now, more often than not, Gorilla's effect is just really for hitting back row. He's extremely good. There are situations where Gorilla is just the better option to get the bear. And keep in mind, you only have to destroy monsters by battle to gain Gorilla's set a fire formation spell from the deck effect. Next is 2 copies of Spirit. Yes, I know this card went up to 3. I'd still only play 2 unless I was running the 3 axis build. I feel like 2 copies of Spirit is just perfect for this deck. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets. Special summon that monster, and then you can go into your synchro play. There's really not much else to say about Spirit. And then 2 copies of Coach Soldier Wolfbark. Coach Soldier Wolfbark is an awesome card. He's basically tutors all your level 4s to the field for a quick rank 4 play. One of the last cards is Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Dragon, and I don't even understand why a lot of Fire Fist players, opt to drop him. He's an amazing card. Basically, he's a lot of fire formation, spell, and trap manipulation. You can pitch 2 to your graveyard to select the Fire Fist monster in your graveyard and special summon it. If you special summon Rooster, you obviously get the tutor Fire Fist monster to your hand. If you special summon Bear, you can make a rank 4 play. It's just so many good uses with Dragon. But also keep a reminder, when he's face up on the field and a fire formation card is activated, you can set a fire formation trap card from your deck to your side of the field. So he's not only not wasting your fire formation back row, but he's also recruiting back row as well. He's an extraordinarily great card. If you don't have your Rooster play or any of your other plays, opening up with him is very good. And then last, I actually decided to add him back after a lot of playtesting. I played him when I was playing at Worlds for the Winamats. I actually decided to play Buffalo, and I feel like Buffalo is just so underrated as opposed to Fire Fist. He does not get any of the credit he deserves. Basically, what Buffalo does is that you can pitch any of your fire formation spell cards on your side of the field or hand, or Fire Fist monsters on your side of the field or hand to the graveyard to special summon him from the graveyard. Now, off the top of the bat, I mean, it doesn't really sound that great, but you got to think about this. This deck generates so much freaking advantage, it's not even funny. You can generate so many type of monsters to your hand, it's not even cool. And being able to special summon a level 4 monster for you able to make a quick rank 4 play, because that's something that this deck does not have easy times doing at most times, or even special summon a monster just so you can push for that extra push a game. There's been times where I'd be like dropping 7,300 on board, and it's like not enough for game. Buffalo provides that extra resource. And another thing that I really want to stress to people is that more often than not, you clog your resources, you clog your back row with fire formation cards. So being able to pinch them to the graveyard to be able to special summon a 1700 beater, or if you're playing against a deck that doesn't run back row, pitching Gyokos to special summon a 1700 beater is just really good. He just makes really good use of your dead fire formations and Fire Fist monsters. For spells, we're going to be running 3 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon. Really not much else to say about that. I mean, I would want to run less, but hey, it's what we have to run right now. 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki. That's the go-to card, the go-to fire formation. A lot of people, what I dislike seeing what people do is that they'll go through their combo, they'll special summon Rooster, Rooster grabs a monster, but then they'll send a fire formation to set the Tinky even though they already activate Tinky. I really want to stress, do not set Tinky if you have already activated Tinky. You can wait until next turn and use another resource. 3 copies of Tensu. I want to see the combo as fast as possible, and Tensu allows me to achieve this. 2 copies of Kyoko. Practically our searchable Mystical Space Typhoon. If you want to go off, you set the Yoko, you Gyoko your opponent's back row, and then just go off from there. More often than not, at the very least, he's a Buffalo target. And this card was actually another one of the controversial plays, and I did play it when I was playing at the Window Mat in Worlds a couple of years ago. It is Fire Formation Yoko. Now, Yoko set up so many plays because, first and foremost, I can activate Yoko without using its effect to discard. Now, a lot of people are like, why would you do that, Cali Effect? Well, sometimes I need to feed fire formation cards to my side of the field and not being able to activate the effect. Gyoko is dead. Tensu, I probably want to, use it, and Yoko can just be like, okay, activate pitch. But most importantly, Yoko can feed your graveyard and get rid of face-up floodgate monsters. So if your opponent has a face-up Majesty's Fiend or Vanity's Fiend or whatever, or even Vanity's Emptiness, you activate Yoko, you pitch your Buffalo, and then you go on with your plays. You activate Yoko, you pitch your Bear, you summon Wolfbark, Wolfbark special summon Bear, and then you can Exceed. You activate Yoko, you can pitch Rooster or Leopard, and then normal summon your Spirit and go into your plays. Yoko is a really underrated card. I would not run more than one because I wouldn't need more than one, but I just feel that it's a really, really good card. Next is Rekindling. If you guys don't know why Rekindling is so good in here, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, at very worst, you can just special summon Leopard to your side of the field and pitch it for a fire formation card for free, and then Raigeki. That's pretty obvious. Now for traps, we're going to be running Fiendish Chain, Tensu, 1 copy of Vanity's Emptiness, and a Tenkin. That's pretty much about the traps. I really want to stress that at first I was never playing Tenkin. I always thought it was a subpar card, but now that I'm playing in this type of format where, Raigeki's at 1, Dark Hole's at 2, sometimes I want to establish myself and sit on this type of board, and then I want to set Tenkin to be able to protect my investments. Tensin is almost like the exact same thing, except when I need extra point boost to get over my opponent's Dark Laws, or get over my opponent's Leo, whatever they try to make, I can just activate Tensin and, get over it. See, a Pot Clifford Killer is never a problem in this deck because I have cards like Tensin in my deck. And Dark Hole, Raigeki, Monster Destruction, whatever your opponent has to throw at you is never a problem because I have Tenkin in the deck. Now, as for the last 3 traps, I'm really caught in between all of these. You can run Solemn, the Bottomless and the Compulse. That's pretty standard. I really don't see a reason to change that up, but preferably I'd actually want to run maybe another copy of Fiendish Chain, maybe 2 Mind Can Trust, and definitely, check out that Ring of Destruction that came off the list. All of those are really solid options, and I really am stuck between all of them, so I just wanted to, when I did the video, I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew, yeah, the deck does have just a little bit of flexibility that you can play. That's basically the Fire Fist deck, sitting at 40 cards if you decide to run 3 of those traps that I just listed below. Let's get on to the extra deck. Alright, so the extra deck is very simple. It really not really much else to say about it. You can run, or I'm sorry, 2 copies of Horse Prince, 3 copies is Overkill, 2 copies is Perfect, 1 copy of Vulcan the Divine, really good card, sets up a lot of great plays for this deck. I did not have this at the time that, Spirit was at 3, we didn't have it, but now it's just like a really amazing card for us. Dark Rebellion, getting over your opponent's monsters, sometimes I don't have those resources. I would drop Dark Rebellion for another rank 4 XC because attack power is normally not my problem, but hey, sometimes I need it. Karen Gorgon, we also didn't have this card. This card is extremely good. In the mirror match, we summon Karen Gorgon, and then we can direct our opponent's bears, our opponent's gorillas, to whatever we want to. Also, it's really good for summoning if we want to activate Tenki, and we know our opponent has Mystical Space Typhoon, so we summon him. We activate our Tenki, they Mystical Space Typhoon, nope, Karen Gorgon, nope, switches it to another target, so your opponent doesn't get to do whatever they want to do. I feel like Karen Gorgon's really good. Ragnar Zero, specifically for the mirror match, if I expect to see them more against Glad Beast, against Cleefort. I just think there's a lot of good reasons why this card has went up from 30 cents to like $3-4 each. 2 copies of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King, awesome card right there as well. Keep in mind, you can activate basically all of his effects in this deck. The first effect is when it's special summon, you can set a fire formation. I mean, if you're playing Tiger King, you probably play fire formations. The second effect is a negation effect. You detach all Beast Warrior monsters on the field, or all monsters on the field that aren't Beast Warrior negated. That's a really good effect. But the third effect is that when he's sent to the graveyard, and a lot of people don't know this, so when he's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 2 Fire Fist monsters to the side of the field with the same attack. So, I mean, a lot of people don't really use that effect. It does require fire formation cards, but hey, I mean, we're Fire Fists. We float on fire formations all day. 1 copy of Anarch Castell. I actually really like running 2 copies of Cardinal so I can loop them. Cardinal is just a really deadly card, especially in this format, being able to return spells or face-up cards on our opponent's side of the field or graveyard, and then our fire formation spells and traps to allow us to get another go. 1 copy of Abyss Dweller. Cowboy, because like I said, sometimes hitting for 8,000 damage is not easy for us when we try to go for an OTK. Lion Emperor, and then 1 copy of Wind Up Zen Mains. Well, thank you guys for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. Alright guys, almost forgot, combo tutorial. I just realized that, you know, a lot of people that play, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably haven't played Fire Fist, so I'm going to give you guys a combo tutorial. What you need for this combo is basically any of these cards, any 2 of them, I think will pretty much suffice for you being able to pull off the combo. We run 3, 2, 3, and 3, so being able to pull off this combo is not very hard. You can normally first turn it. This is a deck that does like to go to second, since we have so much back row disruption, and then, you know, we have almost infinite of possibilities within this combo. So first, I'm going to assume that I have Leopard and Tanky in my hand. Sure, we'll go with that. We are going to normal summon Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Leopard. We're going to activate Leopard effect. Leopard is going to set me the Tensu in the graveyard. This is obviously going to, or it's a phase down. The Leopard is obviously going to go to the graveyard. I have to actually flip it so you guys can see it. My apologies. It would be this way. Good job, Cali Effect. So right now, you guys will be looking at 1 Leopard in your graveyard, 1 face down Tensen. You activate your Fire Formation Tenki, and your Tenki would add your Spirit to your hand. So now you're going to flip up your Fire Formation Tensu, and then you're going to normal summon Spirit. Spirit's effect is going to special summon Leopard. Now you're going to synchro summon for 6, so both of these cards will go to the graveyard. With that, you're going to special summon Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Horse Prince. Horse Prince is going to special summon Rooster, and genuinely, depending on what you have, or you know, whatever you do in your hand, you're going to add a monster to your hand. I really can't tell you if you know what situation you're in, but we're just going to go ahead and say Brotherhood of Fire Fist Bear is your pick. We're going to just stack that in your hand because you know you don't really need it right now. Next, we're going to enter battle. We're going to attack with 17 and 24, and then in main phase 2, we're going to pitch the Tenki to set Fire Formation either Tensu, or we're going to set a Fire Formation Tenkin. If your opponent had back row, you obviously want to pitch the Tenki to set the Fire Formation Gyoko so you can Gyoko it. But ultimately, let's say we go with Tenkin, or I'm sorry, Tensu just for protection, and we're left with 2300 attack monster, a 1600 attack monster, a way to boost any of our monsters up by 1,000 points. I mean, that's just pretty good. There's another combo. I mean, I actually give you guys the Buffalo combo. So, I mean, there's so many ways that Buffalo can just be resourceful into the deck. I'm just going to say we have... Our opponent somehow was able... They chained another's back row, and they have Gyoko in our hand. And, I mean, this combo is actually just really simple. I shouldn't even be saying it. But, hey, it is what it is. There's so many combos. I mean, this is the only one I can think of right now. We're going to... Where's our dragon? Where's Dragon? We have Dragon on our side of the field. We have Tensu. We have Dragon, Tensu, Buffalo. Tensu is obviously in our hand. And so basically what we're going to do, we're just going to cause havoc for the opponent. Oh, my fault. And let's say we use Yoko to pitch to Buffalo. We're going to cause havoc for our opponent. First thing, we're going to activate our Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Buffalo's effect. We're going to pitch these 2 useless formations, 2 specials on a Buffalo. Our opponent doesn't have a response because they're pretty bad at this game. And then next, we're going to activate Fire Formation Tenki. Tenki's effect is going to activate to Agi Bear. And I just really wanted to show you guys how much advantage this deck could give you whenever you need to. And then Dragon's effect is going to activate to set a Fire Formation spell or trap card to your side of the field. We're going to go ahead and set the Tensen. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to Exceed Summon into Tiger King, because Tiger King is love, Tiger King is life. I mean, not really much else. And then Tiger King's effect is going to activate to set us Fire Formation. and then we're going to set Tensu to our side of the field, then we're going to flip the face up, then we're going to normal summon Bear. Just off of those useless fire formations, we were able to recycle our board and get something really consistent going on. Our Tiger King's effect can now activate because we do have 3 fire formations on the field, and just really dominance. We can actually use Bear's effect to pinch the Tenki, attack for X amount of damage, and then being able to set, you know, I don't know, Tensen, Tenki, well, probably not Tenki since we already used it. Just any cards that we want with Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear. There's so many options that you could have did. My personal opinion, I mean, I probably would have worn a Rooster just to like make my opponent really cry. This deck is just so good at creating so many combos. You guys will probably have to figure out them all on yourself. Like I said, this is a really good deck. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.